You a morning person?
Not usually.
Yeah.
No, I'm usually up from the night before.
Being a poker dealer,
Yeah.
there is, the whole thing about poker is it's like a mental game.
Yeah.
When you were seeing those people betting so much money, I mean, what role did you play in that? I mean, would you kind of witnessed there. Obviously, you can't get emotionally attached.
I was definitely emotionally though. I feel like, because I would train there for 2 weeks, and then I was only working there really for half a year maybe. And I just remember, because you'd have to call management over whenever anything felt like you needed help or whatever else. And there were several times where like you call someone over and they come over and they were like, well, until this happens, like you got to keep going. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, what kind of thing is that?
I remember once, which was like one of my early days of doing it, I cried so much. Oh my God. But it was because there was a guy at the table, and you're not supposed to speak 2 languages at the table, but I didn't know that. And so he was speaking Spanish to me, and I was like, oh yeah, grand. And then he said, tira, tira, which means like throw it. But it was like, he meant the last whatever, but I just put the whole fucking deck down, and he meant the last card, and I was like, oh. And so then he lost that pot, and then he was ballistic. He went ballistic after. He was like, oh, like, whatever else. I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking ruined this man's life. Like, what am I doing? It was horrible. But anyways, he was there the next day, and he was grand. So
staying out late, you get used to staying up late, do you?
Yeah. I love a late night. Really? I love a late night. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely going to come and bite me in the ass at some point, but I love a late night. I think the thing is, something different happens, like, and the city comes alive in a different way at night. I don't know, I've always loved nighttime. I think as well, like growing up in a pub, it's always been like nighttime is when people get together. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, I love it.
There's loads of it across your lyrics.
Yeah, true.
And on the new record 1111, there's a lot of I feel like it's a love record.
Yeah, I guess it is in
an overarching theme.
Yeah, overarching. I feel like it's love. It's definitely exploring relationships. Like throughout the time that I was writing it, it was definitely about relationships that I was in, and the relationship with myself, and kind of letting go of things, and navigating how to work through loneliness as well. Like, so yeah, there's definitely love in it, and love songs in it. But yeah, putting
music first.
Yeah,
I mean, that's no light thing. You talk about it like it's just music. Everything's around music. But even just getting to a point where everything is around music.
Yeah.
Where was the first time that you were like, okay, no, not doing that, doing that. I'm going to do the music.
Well, I mean, I think, and I know when it was. It was when I was working in Leicester Square, and I was working as a poker dealer there, and then I got a message through SoundCloud, because I was always like, I would always make time to make music, like whatever, doesn't matter how late I shift went or whatever else, like there would always be, like your day off or whatever, like any time that I could was making tunes and then putting them out on SoundCloud and everything else. And it was always going to be a thing in the way of like, I'd never thought of it as something that could turn into a career. And then when Colours Berlin reached out, Florina from there, who used to, I don't know if she works there anymore, but she was incredible. She used to find like it's just smallest artists on like SoundCloud and like in just the corners of every place, and she found me and she messaged me and she was like, oh, we love this track, like would love you to come out. And I would have had like 200 likes whatever on like a track called Sex, which had it was over a Dilla beat, but then we sent her some other stuff and she was like, cool. And then going out there was like kind of the start of it.
Taking yourself seriously seems to be it's quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because you're putting like all your bets in one place. It's a bit like, it is a bit mad, but also I think that's the thing, is like not keeping it too serious, because realistically, like, music can never leave, do you know what I mean? You'll always have that. So it's just that, like, you want to do it justice, but also you want to just make sure you don't forget why you started making in the first place, which is to make things lighter.
This place, Map Studios,
I know, iconic.
What, when you walk through those doors, what's like the memory?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, 9/8 especially, we've made so much music here. Upstairs, when Nigel was managing downstairs, and it's always just been a hub. Also Common Sounds, which was amazing, like jam night that always was hosted up here. It's just a place where I feel like there's so much music and, I don't know, place to like just come and relax and feel into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Lloyd as well, Mac Weather, had a studio up here for a while recently. So he made a couple tracks for the album in that room before he moved. But yeah, this place is like insane, the amount of stuff that it's seen. And we like started making music here when we were, like 18 maybe, 19. So it's like years.
It's a youth
Which is
centre.
really, it was mad when they were like, oh, it's a Mouse Studio. I was like, what? Yeah, it's so nice.
Cheers for watching. This is 101 Part-Time Jobs. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast apps. We've done interviews with Aurora, Kneecap, Idols, Lauren Maybury of Churches, and loads more. So tap into 101 Part-Time Jobs on Spotify, Apple, and all podcast apps.